My name is Han Yu. I was born in Beijing, China. Since I was a child, I started practicing Falun Gong with my father. After the persecution began on July 20, 1999, both my parents were persecuted to varying extents. In 2004, my father died from the persecution. I refused to believe my stepmother when she told me my father was dead. He was so healthy when I last saw him. Many times, I tried recalling when I last saw my father, and I couldn't accept the fact I would never see him again. I was not mentally prepared for this at all. I insisted on thinking that they must have made a mistake. They must have. My father must have escaped. I would probably run into him near a bridge somewhere. In June, the local security department advised we could see my father's body. There were many policemen there, outnumbering my family members who went. The police had told us not to bring any camera, not to tell any reporter. They searched us before we entered the room. Only direct relatives, my stepmother, my brother, and I were allowed in. My father's body was lying on a bed in an empty room. When I saw my father's body, I saw that he had lost a lot of weight. His face had many wounds. The area under his left eye had caved in. And all over his face, on his chin, it was covered in bruises. I wondered what he had been through before he died. In addition, there was a cut that started from his throat, and it was stitched with thick black threads. I wanted to check how big the incision was, so I tried to unbutton my father's shirt. As I got to the second button, the police saw what I was doing and yelled for me to stop, then shoved us out of the room abruptly and didn't allow others to see the body again. My family, of course, insisted and argued for a long time. In the end, the police relented. Later, my aunt and uncle went into the room. They quickly teared open my father's clothes when the police were not ready. We saw the long cut went from his throat to his belly. I put my hands on father's belly and felt a large block of ice there. Very hard ice. My father died at the Fangshan District Detention Facility. The policemen claim they were not certain about his cause of death. They needed to perform an autopsy to find out. They said they have written approval from the family. I never saw any paperwork, nor did my stepmother. The police forced an autopsy and said my father had a heart attack. There were no official papers to verify this. My father did not have any serious illness. He was very healthy before being arrested. It's impossible that he had a heart attack so soon after arriving at the labor camp. Obviously, he was beaten to death. An autopsy is nothing more than an excuse. The crime of organ harvesting wasn't exposed until 2006. Yet my father's death happened in 2004. I couldn't imagine that they could do something so evil. In 2007, I was on the internet when suddenly a news story appeared about how Falun Gong practitioners were the victims of organ harvesting. My thoughts rushed back to my father's death. And I realized that he too was a victim of organ harvesting. I cried throughout the night until I passed out.